Hello and welcome to the National Climate Game Jam. I'm Peg Steffen. I work at National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and I'm one of the organizers of today's Game Jam. We're excited that you're going to help us design games to help people take action on solutions to climate change impacts. In December of 2014, the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy launched an education and literacy initiative on climate to help connect American students and citizens with the best available science-based information about climate change. Many national partners have planned this event with those goals in mind, and they're with us tonight. It's important that people understand the climate system, the changes that are already happening, and potential solutions that will make our world more sustainable. Your games will help individuals and communities learn more about potential solutions, and I hope you will see yourself as one of the activists who will work to shape the future, your future. Most Americans of all ages play games, and we hope that you will design a game to inspire others to make good choices when it comes to climate, but also a game that's fun to play. No one wants to play a boring game. So have fun tonight and tomorrow, this weekend. Be creative, think outside the box, and most importantly, design a game that you would want to play, that teaches an important climate lesson and challenges a person to go out and take action. There are game design and climate experts standing by to help you, so please ask for assistance when you need information or ground truthing of your ideas. We look forward to seeing your submissions later this weekend on the Google form. The judging team will look at your game ideas through your 1 to 2 minute videos over the next 2 weeks and make decisions about who will win the supportive Glass Lab games and which ones will be recognized further in showcases this winter. And now it's my honor to introduce Dr. Michael Kuperberg, the Executive Director of the U.S. Global Change Research Program, otherwise known here in D.C. as USGCRP. Dr. Kuperberg is on detail from the Department of Energy, the Office of Science, where he's managed environmental research programs for the past decade. His areas of expertise include environmental toxicology, ecology, and carbon cycling, with a current focus on Arctic processes. Before coming to the Department of Energy, Dr. Kuperberg spent 17 years on the research faculty of Florida State University, where he was Associate Director for Environmental Programs within the Center for Biomedical and Toxicological Research. He's also been involved in biomedical remediation technologies, industrial safety, and long-range community-wide planning for natural and man-made disasters. Welcome to the Game Jam, Dr. Kuperberg.
Thanks, Peg. I am Mike Kuperberg, and I do work for the White House in the Office of Science and Technology Policy. I'm the Executive Director of USGCRP, as Peg mentioned. USGCRP was established almost exactly 25 years ago. Our 25th birthday comes up on November 16th, so feel free to send us a birthday card. We coordinate the global change research efforts of 13 federal agencies to observe, understand, and predict how our world is responding and will respond to a changing climate. One of the key roles of USGCRP is to provide assessments of climate change and its impacts. We are proud to be the source of basic climate information for the nation, primarily through our flagship product, the National Climate Assessment. And over the past 25 years, the consensus of the scientific community can be captured in 5 fundamental elements about climate change. Number 1, Earth's climate is changing at a pace and in a pattern that is not consistent with natural processes. While Earth has gone through periods of warming and cooling in the past, the sustained global warming we're seeing now is highly unusual. Number 2, the dominant driver of this unusual change is the buildup of carbon dioxide and other heat-trapping gases in the atmosphere. This buildup of greenhouse gases is a result of human activities, mainly the burning of fossil fuels to power vehicles and generate electricity, as well as changes in land use for agriculture and development. Number 3, the impacts of climate change are already causing harm in many parts of the world and many parts of the United States. One obvious example is the increase in the frequency and intensity of extreme events, things like extended droughts and more intense storms. Number 4, the harm to human systems is caused by climate change will continue to grow for decades to come. This is due to the time lags in the climate system. In other words, our actions to date have put into motion processes that will play out over decades and will be evidenced for example, by changes in sea level, changes in extreme events, and changes in ocean chemistry, all of which pose challenges to humans and the infrastructure on which we depend. And finally, while we expect these damaging changes to occur, we still have options to avoid more and more disruptive change by taking action now. This is very important. One of the major challenges of communicating the issues associated with climate change is the extended scales of time and distance over which these changes occur. Hopefully, most people understand that just because today is cooler than yesterday does not mean that the Earth's climate is not warming. We all recognize there are daily cycles, and that these are nested within weekly, seasonal, and multi-annual cycles. However, it is more difficult to understand or grasp that many of these exist within longer cycles as well. There are, for example, warm years and cold decades, and dry centuries and wet millennia. As a young scientist, I developed an appreciation for these cycles and scales when I studied the long-term physical and biological cycles of the Apalachicola Bay system in North Florida. My seagrass growth studies were biased by an unusually cold winter, and our long-term sampling was interrupted by tides so low that we couldn't reach our sampling locations. We recognized that these were outlier events based on our long-term records for the systems. We also recognized the importance and significant impacts of these extreme events. There is no such thing as an average year. Rather, each year must be considered in the context of the longer term to be understood. Conveying this sense of cycles and scales and context is a key challenge for climate education, and that's where the National Climate Game Jam comes in. Games can be powerful tools in helping us understand the world around us. For instance, the Carmen Sandiego Games taught my daughters about the culture, geography, and history of countries all around the world. And the Oregon Game Trail taught them that the road trips we took as a family weren't all that bad. Nobody died from dysentery on our trips. These early computer games taught a generation about the world around them. So why shouldn't we use games for climate education too? After all, climate education is a modern challenge, and I can't imagine a more modern solution than having a team of smart, creative people across the country interacting through an online hangout. I'm confident that by putting together the brains and talents of teachers, students, researchers, game developers, and everyone else participating, the games that come out of this event will be able to teach others about climate change in ways that last and are fun too. Thanks for your time and engagement, and best of luck to all of you. I look forward to trying out your games. Back to San Francisco.
Bach, and I'm a TechTeen here at the Academy. Oh, okay. Hello, welcome to the California Academy of Sciences. My name is Darrah Bach, and I'm a TechTeen here at the Academy. I'm very excited to welcome you to the Game Jam happening here at the Academy. I'm very excited to see the final products tomorrow. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. John Foley, who has been the Executive Director of the Academy since 2014. He's a scientist with a focus on sustainability, ecosystems, and natural resources. He used to be the director at the Institute on the Environment at the University of Minnesota. And now, please welcome Dr. John Foley.
The applause track just went on, I guess, on Google Hangout. Hi, I'm John Foley. I'm the director of the California Academy of Sciences, and I'm really excited that we have the Game Jam here in San Francisco, as well as with partners all around the nation. We're having exciting things happening all day here through tomorrow, and we just couldn't be happier about that. So thanks very much for involving us in this wonderful national project. The California Academy of Sciences is a really great place for science and science education, applying ourselves to the questions of sustainability, like climate change. Our new mission statement is to explore, explain, and sustain life, and bring together communities of young people and scientists and community activists and many, many others to think about how do we get people to understand the issues facing our planet and also be better stewards of it. And I couldn't think of a better way to do that than the use of games. One thing we've learned so much in museums and other informal science settings is getting people hands-on, if you will, around science issues like climate change is a wonderful way for teaching and engaging people in these complex issues. So we're very excited about having the Game Jam participation here at the Cal Academy, and we're really looking forward to seeing what you all come up with in the coming hours, and look forward to seeing these games get unveiled into the world soon. So thanks very much, and we'll have our next speaker.
Thank you very much for that. Now, my name is Madeleine Valdez. I am a tech teen here at the California Academy of Science and a member of the Teen Think Tank. Today, this room is brimming with innovation. We have been given the opportunity to have an impact on a world issue and introduce it to a wide group of people. Mr. Kuperberg said before that games are made to reach people. I have the privilege of introducing Ken Eklund, our main speaker of this launch. Mr. Eklund is a games and experiences designer and is known for his immersive story-making game on real-world issues. His game, World Without Oriole, has received multiple awards, and his newest endeavor, Future Coast, is about the same subject as this Game Jam's event, climate. These games involve teamwork, storytelling, and play, leading to learning and civil engagement, reflective of a masterful designer. So, without further ado, please welcome Mr. Eklund.
Thank you, Madeleine. Thank you for to the California Academy and the White House. I'm just really honored, very much honored to be here, and it's great to be here, kind of in this this room where so much is going on, kind of underneath the surface. We're really looking forward to what's going to be revealed tomorrow. Now, kind of like the teams here, I mean, these guys have like laser focus, and their games are coming along just great. They're going to be done on time. They're going to have some excellent products, and probably so is your game. But just in case there may be a sticking point or two, I kind of have 6 keywords that I'm just going to run through very quickly. Key concepts, kind of from my own game design experience, having been in situations like this. So the first word is game. You know, I really encourage people to think wide about what a game means. I mean, games are urban games, and games are sports games, card games, board games, mind games, and my favorite, storytelling games. And especially to think about games for non-gamers, to think wide about ways in which a game can kind of be brought to impact this issue. And that leads into play, sometimes called flow. To me, kind of the important thing is to lead people to a state of play, because I think that's where learning happens. That's where kind of acceptance of learning happens. That's where personal change happens, is when people are actually engaged kind of in a state of play. And then play kind of leads into plan B. The schedule for a game jam is very real. You can have a great project, which if at the end of the game jam it's 80% done, that is a problem. So maybe there's nothing wrong with your plan A. It's a terrific plan A, except it won't be done on time. This is not a problem. It may seem like a problem, but actually it's an opportunity. Don't be afraid to embrace your plan B. Maybe it's your game telling you that it wants to be simpler. It's an opportunity to simplify. And that leads into fun, as has been said before. And when I say fun, I'm kind of talking about all its various flavors in the game world, engaging, thrilling, challenging, all of those things. If the game isn't fun, and kind of fun at its core, fun is not something that you can just apply as a veneer later. It really has to be kind of at the core of your concept. And I think the acid test for me is, what's the elevator pitch about your game? Is it something where people just go, oh wow, I want to play that? If it isn't, then maybe your game isn't fun enough, and that might be something that might lead you to a plan B. And that also leads to this other word, 5th one, which is beauty. You have your idea about how players win. They outcompete, they rack up points, they survive. Well, if you watch games being played, players very quickly bring in their own ideas. For example, they want to create something which is very ordered or something which is very beautiful, and they don't really care about your points. I really encourage people to kind of embrace this, alternate ways of playing your game and enjoying your game, and especially in this particular context, because science and nature are really beautiful, and it would be a great thing if your game reflects that. And then that leads into kind of the last keyword that I've got for you, which is story. And you can kind of think about this like a Venn diagram. So draw your game story, and then draw the story of the personal story of one of the people that you hope will play your game, your potential audience. And then think of another potential player and draw that one. And then kind of keep going through all the people, all the types of people that you kind of want to be in your audience. You're looking for a lot of overlap between your game story and what their personal stories about what they want to get out of the game, and also the questions that they kind of bring into the game, the wondering that we have about what's going on in the world today, especially about climate change. Personally, for me, that's where I start with a game concept, is I think about the audience, I think about their questions, and then I try to think about what is the game, what is like the storytelling game or the massively collaborative game or kind of the explore the world sort of game that will help people kind of answer those questions that they have about what the future is going to be like. What is climate change likely to be like? How is it going to change our world? And what can we do about it? So I'm going to go back over the 6 keywords: game, play or flow, plan B, fun, very important, we'll say that again, fun, beauty, and then the story, the game story. And so with that, maybe that provided a little bit of inspiration or can help some teams that might be a little bit stuck about where they are. But again, for most of the teams, like these guys here, you got your concept, you're executing on it. That's really great. We're really excited to see what the results are going to be. So just bring that game on in for a happy landing. Should we say goodbye, guys? Bye. Bye.